Favorite song?
Soft and Wet by the artist formerly known as Prince.
Who's your favorite rock star? Prince.
I do. I truly, truly love him so much, then and now.
Prince dumped you, right?
No, we didn't date. We never dated.
How long were you dating him?
So he's 2.5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this was a long relationship.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
So you had sex with him? Is he good?
Oh, yeah.
He is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you banged Prince. I read about it. You never had sex with Prince?
No.
Never had.
I was there for 2 years, recorded an album,
and
went on tour with
Prince
him.
never tried.
He was dating somebody else. I don't know.
I would still try. Come on. You think he's gay?
You know, a lot of the questions from brothers was, man, is he gay? No, not that I know of.
The man ain't gay. You know, Prince, as a side note, he's got the hottest women you'd ever see. He had some super hot women that came through. The hottest, in my opinion, was Anna. I only met her once, and that song Anastasia is about her, and she's super hot. I don't even know who she is. But, then Kim Basinger, Carmen Electra, Diamond and Pearl, the two chicks in that video Cream. I remember getting high with either Diamond or Pearl. I forget which one it was. I saw Carmen a lot during those years, and just super fine women.
Prince was looking for rappers, and that kind of got my foot in the door. He actually was looking for a female rapper.
I grew up, loving Salt and Pepper, hip-hop artists.
Every now and then I, introduce him to females in Los Angeles. And then he met Carmen Electra through me.
Music and dance was always my goal. Dance is my #1 passion.
I was in a ballet company when I was 12, and I studied tap and jazz. And
when I ended up leaving Cincinnati and just on a very quick visit to Los Angeles, and then within that time, I ended up meeting Prince.
I was doing an album project with Prince. I did quite a few songs. Prince came to me and said, I want you to put together a band. And Prince says, would you like to scout, for your band? That's a great idea. I'm going to do that.
The first time I met him, I was auditioning for an all-girl band that he was putting together at the time. We basically are sneaking into different nightclubs here in LA.
I walk in this one nightclub, and there's this girl. She's really adorable, really pretty.
And this woman approached me. At first, I thought because she was staring at me.
I want to go talk to this girl. And I walk up to her, and I say, excuse me, what's your name? Tara.
Yeah, she approached me, and she said, I have an all-girl band that I'm producing with Prince.
I'm putting an all-girl band together. It's my band. I'm the lead. And I'm looking for girls to be in the band.
I think you're a really good dancer, and I'd love to have you in my band and meet Prince and basically audition for the band.
I said, how old are you? She said, 18. Where are you from? Cincinnati, Ohio. How long have you been here? For 2 weeks. Can you rap, sing, dance? Can you do any motherfucking thing? I can dance. I'm a professionally trained dancer, but I can rap.
But I love dancing.
Would you be willing to meet Prince and audition to be in my band? And Robin Power and the Uptown Dames. Tara Patrick trusted me.
You hear stories about LA. A blue BMW pulls up. And so I'm like, okay, that seems very Prince-like. I can imagine him in a blue BMW. And we just took a chance and we went to his house.
Oh my God.
I was like, okay, well, maybe this is real. I was a huge fan of the Love Sexy tour and Sign of the Times. He had a dancer that performed with him, and her name's Kat. I really loved her style. So anyway, we go we're going up into the hills, and we get there, and he's standing in the doorway, and he's making sort of a sexy face, but it was scary to me. I really just wanted to work. Basically had a week to figure it out. He got on the piano and he goes, do you sing? And I said, yeah. He wanted me to dance, to see me dance.
Prince got on the piano. He was like, so she could sing? I said, I don't know. And she is dope. I saw her giving Paula Abdul a run for her money. Then he asked her, can she rap? And she rapped. And he kind of giggles a little bit.
He played music from that movie that he was about to premiere. Total freestyle. He was very quiet and didn't say anything. He wouldn't say yes or no. Oh my God, I sucked. I really sucked. I blew it. Like, he said, give me a minute.
And then he pulls me aside. No, I don't think you should put her in the band. Why? She can't sing. She can dance. She can rap a little bit, but she does sound like a white girl. You never want to put somebody in your band that could possibly outshine you.
And so he was talking with this woman that had the band. And so I went downstairs and I'm just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, oh, please, please, I really want to be in her band. And she kept walking down. She's like, he won't give me an answer. It felt weird.
So I'm in bed with Prince. We're watching a movie. Prince says, why don't you ask her if she wants to come and watch a movie with us? And I'm like, uh-oh, I just was not going to do that. I wrote her a note and I slipped it under the door. And she said, no.
It was getting late. And then so I was like, okay, I'm like, can the limo take me back? The driver was gone. And so I spent the night downstairs, in the guest room. And I was so scared. But everything was fine.
So I'm going to respect that. The limo took us back. And I told her in the limo, I think you're beautiful. I think you can dance. I think you're talented. I like that you can rap. I said, look, Prince told me not to put you in my band.
I didn't end up making it into the band. So I was really bummed about that. The next day, the girl that had the band was really cool. She was cool enough to say, she's like, well, I have some connections at Capitol Records.
And if he's not going to put you in my band, I'm going to help you get a record deal. And I took Tara to Capitol Records.
A friend took me into Capitol Records and I got signed to a demo deal. I thought, if the demo deal doesn't work out, then I can do this.
They immediately put her on the fast track, got her a car, gave her per diem, put her in a hotel.
She took me to Capitol Records and I did the same thing. I sang a song and danced and I ended up getting a demo deal. I didn't have an attorney and I just signed. It wasn't like an official deal, demo deal. My friend called me. She said, Prince wants to hear your demos. So I thought, okay. That night we went to his hotel. He was staying at a hotel. He listened to the demos and he said we could use those for coasters or frisbees. So we watched a movie called Carmen Jones and he's like, You look like Carmen. You just look like a Carmen. Do. My real name is Tara, and I love my name. Prince gave me a lot of confidence. It was really sweet. He actually had my hair straightened. I was like, I felt like a new person. Wow, that was really nice of him. I went back to my hotel. He called me directly at my hotel, and I answered the phone. Basically said, the reason I didn't say yes to you being in the band is because I think you should be your own artist. I was so excited. In the meantime, though, I've signed a demo deal. He said, I want to sign you to Paisley Park Records. And I said, but I've signed this deal. He said, are you a blonde or a brunette? So I was like, I'm a brunette.
I'm in Minneapolis putting together a band. Had 5 weeks together as a band to prepare for our first show at Glam Slam. Prince did not give me mirrors until 7 days before the show. What band practices without mirrors? That's sabotage. Once I put the band together and formed at Glam Slam, Prince called me the night of our performance and said, I hate your band. They can't sing, they can't dance, fire all of them and start over. And I said, no, you do it my way, you do it with somebody else. I said, well, I guess I'm just going to have to do it with somebody else. Okay. Yeah, he was something else. Tara is calling me from LA, telling me, girl, thank you for everything. You're a big sister to me. I can't believe you did this for me. Wow. The whole time she is in touch with Prince. And now he's trying to get her to fly to Minneapolis to leave Capitol Records to start recording with him behind my back.
Somehow he got in touch with me and said, I wanted you to know that I think you should have your own record deal and that you shouldn't be a backup in anyone else's band. And I was shocked and really surprised. And he said, well, I have a ticket for you waiting. You'll be picked up at, 7 a.m. and catch your flight to Minneapolis. I just bounced on Capitol Records. I just left.
Fuck yeah.
And a purple limo picked me up.
Okay. Oh my, there it is.
And the phone rings. Did you make it okay? He said, do you have a lot of clothes? Go get something white. And that was my first photo shoot there. There's one picture of us like together, and so I have pearls in my hand. And that's around the time that Diamonds and Pearls came out.
All of a sudden, I get a phone call from Joy, who is the head of A&R at Capitol Records. You better tell Tara to get her ass back to LA. I was like, what? She said, Tara is there recording with Prince. I said, that's impossible. Tara is there with Prince. She is under contract with us. If you don't tell Prince to get her ass to LA right now, we are going to sue the fuck out of him.
He's taken, I'm going to be polite, a very ambitious young lady who was looking for whatever avenue she could find to get a career.
I was there almost every day at Paisley Park. Pretty much lived there, and it felt like heaven. It's so beautiful. All the pastel colors and everything was creative. Prince was creative in every avenue. He wrote the lyrics, could play every instrument. His band would be practicing and you're in the other room dancing. I would be dancing in front of a mirror, working on my music for my music videos. There was always photo shoots happening, performances. It just was this huge, like, beautiful, creative place.
Was it Robin Powers? Robin, she was a cute girl. She had a banging ass body and she could dance.
We got into an argument in the making of my album because Prince tried to give me a lot of songs. I did not like them once I heard them. Recorded, Prince wanted me to do it Prince's way and did not help me. I asked for help. I went to Prince and I said, can some of your band members help us put our show together? No. I went to different people in the band, like, can y'all help me? They were like, Prince told us not to help you with nothing. Prince did not like the fact that I wasn't doing the songs that we were producing.
He really put a lot into it.
He just started writing music, would give me a pad and say, come on, write. I started recording.
I mean, he played almost every instrument. He wrote almost every song. He brought in different people to work with me.
In the studio, Carmen Electra was working on an album.
This is the biggest studio out there. We have different isolated rooms for drums and percussion and piano.
When we were cutting Carmen's album and doing one of the songs, Carmen wasn't getting where we needed her to be. I just said, stop, let's stop for a second. I said, okay, everybody out of the studio. Prince liked candles, and I said, let's get the candles going. I went in the studio and we actually looked at each other and cut together. We just added a different ambiance. You get that feed off of each other. So we cut it like that, and then we were trying to get her to where we needed her to be on that song.
That's one thing that's truly missing today in music. People playing with each other. So that's one good thing about that's happening out here is the vibe is that we all get to collaborate and get in there and just put the headsets on and vibe off each other. She's beautiful, yeah. What I like most about working in the studio is when it's fast. She was very fast. A couple of takes and we were out of there. And when you first saw her, you didn't think she would be this low. Because Robert could really pull it off. But she was funky. It's not your typical type of thing. I think people are going to really be surprised by her. What about the way she looks? She fine. She all that. You know what I'm saying?
Friends of the New Power Generation on Hitline USA. Go ahead, you're on live with Tony and Mike from the New Power Generation.
Hi.
How you doing? Hi.
I know Prince does a lot of outside projects. Does Power Generation do that kind of thing?
He lets us work on outside projects that maybe he can't handle himself. What would you say to that, Mike? Do we do outside projects?
Well, right. We're just saying we're system. We're kind of like the workforce, really.
Someone dug up a Carmen Electra song the other day, but I remember cutting half that record in like one day in Studio A, and we didn't know what it was or who it was for. It was just tracks.
Prince with a ton of B-side type material and an infatuation with Carmen and her charisma. He's spending gazillions of dollars making videos for these tracks he had done with Carmen Electra.
All of a sudden, I'm flying to New York, shooting with like the best photographers, getting like the artwork together for the record and recording, and I was his girlfriend. Yeah. To have access to a studio, I mean, I could go in and record anytime I wanted to. Had my own record that he produced and played music on. Really cool people, Moni Love. I'm not sure if you remember her. Moni in the middle. Where's she at? In the middle. And
Moni Love. That's my girl.
I'm wearing hot pants and like a big coat and high heels in the Minnesota winter.
One of my favorite songs didn't make the album, and it was called Carmen on Top, and it was the very first song I recorded with him.
Prince gave my songs to Carmen. Prince was the type of person that would take your name off something and put somebody else. You never know.
He does that. He gave the song Fantasia Erotica to Carmen, and I don't even know if Carmen knows that. I don't know if he showed her the song and was like, you're going to do this. When you do a song that is already written, they'll give you like a vocal a guide. I don't know when that came out, but I think it was only like a year. It was a little bit of a jab to me. So he kind of does, bizarre things sometimes. And that is what creates the politics. There's somebody behind like pulling the strings of the puppets.
He would come and call at like 3 a.m. Rosie, come outside. I want to play you something in a car. My mom was like, get up and put on her snow boots. Prince is outside. I'm going to go listen to what he just did because he wanted me to add something. And they were very close. They even had a lot of conversations about the women that was in and out of Paisley Parks. And I got to listen to some of those conversations. Oh, yeah.
I can name names. Rosanda. Him and Chili were real close. They would go to Chili, go pick her up, and bring her to the club, which was Glam Slam. So I would say, well, why not Chili instead of Carmen? Chili's too little. Now, when it came to females, he had to be the pickiest dude on the planet. Now, you've seen what he's had, right? You ain't never seen what he turned down. I would be one of the dudes that would go get him. Like, he would be like, hey, you see her? And she'd be like the baddest thing you ever seen in your life. He would say, she blinks her eyes too much.
Walking down to go in the kitchen to get something. I'm like, Tara's here, Maite's here, Jill's here, Ingrid's around the corner. Sheila E. can bust in the door and just tell everybody, go sit the fuck down whenever she feel like it. He's kicking it with her. He got some other girl from someplace. Like, there's so many women. Prince had that control over women mentality. And Prince said in an interview,
James Brown played a big influence on my style. When I was about 10 years old, my stepdad put me on the stage with him, and I danced a little bit until the bodyguard took me off. The reason why I like James Brown so much is on my way backstage, on my way out, I saw some of the finest dancing girls I've ever seen in my life. And I think in that respect, he influenced me by his control over his group, dancing girls, his apples, and his oranges.
he liked the fact that James Brown had so much control over the females that danced for him, and he could tell them what to do, what to wear, and that he had so much power over them. The control factor.
I don't really care so much what people say about me. It usually is a reflection of who they are.
The idea of just signing girlfriends got old real quick. It's just a game of putting one girlfriend against the other. When it was, Carmen and Electra, and I don't even want to be part of this. This is just silly. The record was stupid because it was made for all the wrong reasons.
Paisley Park, the production facility, she was built to produce art, to produce work, to produce music, as opposed to it being a facility that was trying to massage his needs and desires and stuff.
I'm there. There's an 18-year-old Carmen Electra. There's a 16-year-old Maite. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was frustrated. I knew he was carrying on with Carmen. We didn't discuss it.
Walking to Paisley was like, is this Paisley Park or Carmen Park? Because there were a lot of photos of her.
Prince said to me, she's a great dancer and she's a rapper. And I said, she's a rapper? And he goes, no, she's a rapper and she's really good at it.
She was rapping and singing, doing some things, and it was awesome.
When you're in Prince's world, you don't have to figure out what you want to do. He's really there to figure out for you.
He changed her name to Carmen Electra. He just came up with a great name and it stuck. She was very electric, electrifying when she danced, the energy, it made sense.
Definitely felt like Cinderella, had new, dresses to wear every day and, someone to do my hair every other day and limos.
Maite was there. I didn't know what the vision was for Maite and why Maite was there.
Prince was gone out of town and we hadn't quite figured out my role, so I had a lot of downtime. Carmen hit me up to go see a movie. She was 19, a year older than me. She picked me up in Prince's black-on-black Jeep, and as we drove to the movie theater, she said, "Every time I get in this car, people honk at me. Maybe it's because your brights are on." I reached over and clicked the headlights to low beam, and she giggled. "Oh my God, I was wondering what that was." We both got a huge laugh out of that and ended up having a great time. After the movies, we drank tea in my apartment. I hadn't realized that she and Prince had a thing. When he called me later that evening, I asked him, "Are you dating Carmen?" No, she has a crush on me. One could easily take a very cynical view of the way he was with women.
People speculate on your personal life all the time anyway, so I just think it's important to keep my private life private and my public persona more into music.
He did not want to work with no ugly women, okay? Because when I first came there, Carmen Electra, her real name was Ingrid. I didn't appreciate the rap, but she was gorgeous and she was sweet. Prince knew that children was truthful. So he puts the CD in my hand. I want you to go home and listen to this and tell me what you think. When I put it in, I was like, oh man, this is bad. And I was like, Mom, can I not go with you to rehearsal tomorrow? She was like, just tell him. He gave it to you because he wants to know. And I don't know how to tell him, like, this is horrible.
I was working on Ingrid Chavez, which actually had a buzz in Europe. So we set up a promo tour for her in Europe that I actually went with her. You know, we did the whole promo thing with, TV shows and radio and with the label reps in every European country. And it was very well received. I was working on Ingrid and trying to find the market for it because it was admittedly an odd record, but it was a sexy record that really, there was kind of a place for it. And again, it was a record I was handed. I didn't produce that, but he signed a girlfriend and told her to make a record. But one day he came in the office and he looked at me and he says, "I'll sell more Carmen Electra records than you will Ingrid Chavez." Ingrid was your girlfriend. Okay, let's don't get this twisted. And at that point, I knew my days were numbered. And the album actually made a little noise over there, just as the Jill Jones record had.
Touring was part of the business model that we needed to run.
We didn't actually tour the United States when Diamonds and Pearls came out.
So you definitely feel appreciated there. Yeah.
I had a chance to go on tour. I'm in Europe. I opened up for him on the Diamonds and Pearls tour in Europe. All of a sudden I had my own band.
Now you've gotten hired for the Diamonds and Pearls tour. What do you think made you get the job? I can imagine there must have been an incredible competition.
My belly dancing. I mix ballet with belly dancing and hip hop, and it's just my style of dancing that nobody does.
Basically before we went on tour, he told me, you have to do all of your vocals and dance full out.
Carmen, she asked, how do I get him to get me some music? If you have sex with him, you ain't gonna get that album. Do not give up the draws. She's like, well, that's not what I'm trying to do. I said, I understand that. So fast forward, he was writing this album for her, which he did, and he was bringing her out on the road with us.
Live for love, say, live for love, say.
The Diamonds and Pearls tour was a great introduction to touring life. My first show with Prince was at the Tokyo Dome in April 1992. The Tokyo Dome was almost to capacity, 48,000. Before the show started, I peeked out at the Jumbotron. The symbol that would become his name landed on the screen, introducing Maite, footage of me walking in Cairo, and Prince's single Sweet Baby, ads for Carmen Electra's forthcoming album. I was excited to be part of it. We had a 2-week break and then hit Europe. Something I eventually learned, Prince's top girlfriend was always in Minneapolis. When you came to Minneapolis, you were the girl on her way in. When you left Minneapolis, you were the girl on her way out.
Yeah, Carmen. So Carmen, she asked, she's like, how do I get him to write for me and get me some music? Stay on your craft. I said, but do not give up the draws. If you have sex with him, you ain't gonna get that album. She's like, well, that's not what I'm trying to do. I said, I understand that. So fast forward, he was writing this album for her, which he did, and he was bringing her out on the road with us.
I opened up for him on the Diamonds and Pearls tour in Europe.
At Prince concerts, there's a lot of fans. It was crazy. I can't even tell you how many people were there. And just to get up in front of thousands and thousands of people and perform, I can't even describe the feeling.
I mean, she was just there a hot minute, and nobody understood why.
It was challenging, but I just went for it and, did the best I could.
She was on tour to promote her album, even though the reviews weren't great.
I was just on a certain leg of the tour.
Go-Go Dancer is a video that, of course, was Prince's idea of having Carmen pole dance, basically. This girl is a star. She was kind of willing to do anything. She was dressed in all these fabulously scantily clad outfits, big hair, great makeup.
Carmen and her band joined the tour and opened for us in the Netherlands and Germany. They showed her video for Go-Go Dancer before her set. The reviews weren't good. Prince wasn't happy with the audience reaction.
I don't want to go too deep into anything, but I just found out a lot of stuff.
Maite was the girl who took her place. And I remember the phone call. She called me. She was like, it's another girl here named Maite Shane, and I don't like it at all. It makes me feel so bad. Sometimes I just want to come back home because it's gone. And all the attention is going to her. And I see them treating her the way that they used to treat me.
3-4 shows in, he's sending her home. She's in one of the dressing rooms, emotional, and she calls me in there. I don't know, I don't understand why we're going home. We only been out here for a couple shows and blah, blah, blah. I said, did you give up the draws? And she said, well, it didn't start out like that. That's why you're going home.
He lives in the now. I think he just moved on to the next thing.
Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Ireland, England, Scotland, back to Germany and the Netherlands, and then France. I was in only 2 or 3 numbers. It was fun. We'd stumble back onto the bus and wait to see if there was an after show, another 2 hours on stage. Sometimes he just wanted me to come and dance while he played guitar. Sometimes he'd go by himself. I passed a room where some of the people from the band were inside. They were talking about me, laughing. She stuffs her bra. Why is she here? My jaw dropped. Seriously? Diamond and Pearl were laughing at me. I went into my room and shut the door. Prince called me a little while later. Anytime someone tripped on your presence was because of jealousy or fear. But I had no desire to be part of the harem. I remember a big party in London where Carmen was wearing a super cool little outfit with these sexy great boots. And Lori told me, I turned down that same outfit when Prince bought it for me. Now Carmen's wearing it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Carmen went home, and at the end of the Diamonds and Pearls tour, Lori and Rabia were let go too.
We have different stories.
Who's Prince? She's a stand-in for Diamond. There was another Diamond who actually looked a lot more like me and was really a cooler person too.
Yeah, they picked me up this morning.
She got a different job, so she had to go, and then they found her today here on the streets. She does look like me though, doesn't she?
People can think whatever they want about Carmen Electra, but she's one of the only women I ever saw involved with Prince on that level that was respectful of everybody else the whole time.
Had to happen, was all Prince said about it to me.
We knew going into the Diamonds and Pearls tour that Rosie was going to be leaving. So that changed everything. Her voice was so distinctive, and like his heart probably sank. She was ours. I've given you the biggest stage you could possibly have in the world, and now you're going. She was just like, Prince, you know, I'm not getting any younger. I can't wait forever. You know, and she's watching Carmen Electra's record come out, and meanwhile it's like, okay, Prince.
After that tour, I was back in Minneapolis, and I was really bored. I felt really lonely and bored because he was out there for a long, quite some time. It kind of clicked in my head. He has a house in LA, and he's always in LA. In LA, I can take major dance classes. When he came back, I just went to him and said, can I live in LA? And he was like, okay. And I explained why I wanted to live there. And so I was in LA for quite some time.
When I left, my record got dropped. I mean, just like there was.
Yeah, he was vindictive on
it. It did come out, but they stopped promoting.
Yeah, it just kind of came out. And
because
you can't leave.
Carmen Electra arrived.
Yeah.
So I was
replaced. $1 million and nobody still cared.
She was his girlfriend. I mean, they had a relationship. She doesn't talk about it very often, neither does he, but I think that they really cared about each other.
I mean, it was just a professional relationship. He produced the entire record for me and was just a very generous person.
I have an album, so I did videos, and I've been dancing
videos
since I was 5 years old. Prince.
Yeah. Oh, you dated Prince.
Wait, sort of.
Yeah, you did him.
Not really.
I figured you.
What do you mean, not really? How do you not really date him?
Well, before you get to Prince. Really?
I haven't had a lot of boyfriends. I've only been with 3 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
In your entire life?
Yeah.
So you must be repulsed by me. I'm so white.
No.
I'm sure Prince is Italian. So what happened? You did Prince?
We used to fool around a lot in the studio.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was fun.
So you had sex with him? Is he good?
Oh, yeah.
He is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How did he let her go?
Yeah.
I left.
You did? Why?
Yes.
It got too weird?
No, I lived in Minneapolis and I wanted to be in LA because I want to work. I didn't want to sit in Minneapolis and not do anything.
And was he like really upset?
I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
He was in love with you?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, he gets tons of broads though. I'm sure
Yeah,
he
he
was in
does.
for too
He
long.
got over it. Fine.
How long were you dating him?
So he's 2.5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this was a long relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And when a guy like that seduces you, does he lay a whole bunch of gifts and stuff on you?
He's very generous.
He is?
Yes, yes.
No kidding.
Shopping sprees.
Like
yeah.
what? What would you buy? Clothes and
Yeah, he would
cars?
just
And...
send me out shopping and I would just buy everything.
Oh, God.
Good Lord.
She would come home, she would play us the video, she would play us the song, and we was all hyped on it.
I remember the day the CD came out. I went to go buy it, and none of the major record stores had it.
The album flopped. It was kind of heartbreaking. She put a lot of time and energy in it.
What she cared about was how Prince would respond if it failed.
And it just went nowhere. It was almost like punch in the jaw, you know? How do you recover from something like that? How do you recover?
The industry was saturated with Prince, and I think they had had enough. It's like, okay, another girl Prince artist.
She had moved from Minneapolis to Los Angeles, still under Prince's control, so to speak.
She came out here to pursue her career further, and he was okay with it.
She was living in the apartment that Prince had rented for her.
She was watched every second.
Prince, I guess, somehow maybe decided that he was gonna have her followed, and I think he might have bugged the apartment.
I think I was about 21, yeah. Because I made that choice, I literally struggled. I didn't have food and it was pretty rough.
It was pretty hard making ends meet. She was determined she was going to do this on her own. And she never really called home and said, oh, I need money, or I need this, or I need that.
I wanted to move to LA, and so I was the person that said, I'm going to get a place in LA, and I left.
Right.
She was upset, and she was like, Prince had somebody follow me. It just got crazy after that.
A lot of people were kind of scared to approach her. She's Prince's girl.
She didn't have any friends. She was very lonely.
He was never around. He didn't come in town. He was off, doing other things.
She didn't want to be around it anymore, and, they had the falling out.
I became more outspoken, and I just didn't feel that comfortable, being too outspoken with him. I was kind of given a choice, move back to Minneapolis or you're on your own. Well, I think I'm going to be on my own.
He put her out. He told her, you gotta go. She had nothing. She didn't, nowhere to go.
The whole time that I've been knowing her, I had never seen her like.
And I was shocked. Once the relationship went bad, she was left with nothing.
With nothing.
She kind of disappeared for a few months, and nobody saw her.
She had no telephone, and it was total ghetto.
She went from everything to nothing.
He asked me to help him reimagine the Glam Slam experience with a concept we called Erotic City.
They're doing this show down at Glam Slam, and some of the greatest dancers are dancing, and it's called Erotic City.
Glam Slam was Prince's club. He had it in the middle of downtown LA.
She finally broke down and gave him a call.
Anyway, basically it got to the point where I called him.
I actually called Prince, to tell him about my living situation, and I just said, if anything comes up, let me know, because I'm really having a hard time and I don't know what I'm going to do. And so he said, there's a show you'd be perfect for. It's called Erotic City, and it's at Glam Slam, my club in Los Angeles.
He said, well, go to Glam Slam. It was his nightclub in LA, and if you like the show, then you can be in it.
Put your hands together for the erotic dancers, featuring Miss Carmen, Electra.
She's from Cincinnati, Ohio, and here's the video MTV does not want you to see.
It's Erotic City. I get tied up, I have a gun, I get thrown around, and in the end, I prevail. When you come to the show, expect the unexpected. This business is about what's in your heart. If you don't feel it in your heart and your soul, it's not going to come across.
Her energy electrified the artist formerly known as Prince, who quickly signed her up and produced her first album.
I was surprised because I thought maybe he was strange or a little different, but actually he's a nice guy and he allows his artists to have all the freedom that they want. Can I flip my hair back? Yeah.
The 23-year-old Cincinnati native has been called a brunette Pamela Lee, and her sultry look has captivated international magazines. But in its current issue, America's homegrown Playboy has also taken notice.
I'm not doing Playboy for my career. I'm doing it because it's something I've always wanted to do. I just think the women are beautiful.
Say, you know, when I'm an old lady that I had a Playboy cover, you know? I think that's pretty cool.
You can do whatever you want to do, and your dreams can come true if you believe in yourself and work hard.
Well, congratulations to you now. You're now on Baywatch.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, are you doing double duty, or you finished with the MTV show?
I'm doing both. It's hard, you know, but it's what I want to do. So I'm in there. I'm doing Singled Out on the weekends and Baywatch all week.
And you're getting paid.
And that's right. That's right. My bank account looks lovely.
I hear that. Now, how is it going on Baywatch? I mean, you came in to replace Pamela Lee, and that's filling some big shoes. So.
Well, actually, a big swimsuit to fill. You have the best audience, I have to say.
Definitely.
Yeah, they turn it out. Yeah, you know, the swimsuits are so small to begin with anyway, and they didn't give me my own, so I'm wearing Pamela Anderson's suit, Yasmin's suit, and every time I go to do a scene, the suit would just start riding up my butt, and
I went in and auditioned and had to do a swim test and, you know, do a scene, and I was so nervous.
So I was like, okay, now you're going to be swimming.
In January 1995, Prince received the American Music Award of Merit. It was a huge honor for him and a major performance for New Power Generation. Nona Gay introduced him.
And it will be accepted in a few minutes by the artist formerly known as Prince. But first, here's the musical salute, the Purple Medley.
A giant staircase, glowing rock walls, fireworks, hard guitar chords opened the door for the dancers' company. And Carmen Electra. People went nuts when they saw him dancing at the top of the staircase. It took them a minute to realize that wasn't him.
Prince departed from this earth. Ladies and gentlemen, the artist formerly known as Prince.
He'd actually been lying flat on the floor with a black sheet over him. He'd been brought on, hiked over the shoulder of one of the dancers early in the medley. He sat up abruptly, swung his leg around to a split, scissored up to his feet, slicked his hair back, and launched into Billy Jack Bitch.
I was really nervous, but it was a great opportunity to get worldwide exposure. The thing about shooting that scene in Scary Movie, I was nervous.
Or else my boyfriend's gonna be here any minute, and he's black and he'll kick your ass.
Tailor-made, on the spot. That wasn't the script at all. Keenan Wayans, who directed the movie, said, "Look outside."
Help! Help! Oh, that's not my boyfriend.
There was a man dressed like Prince, and I was like thinking to myself, what's going on? This isn't in the script. We shot the scene really quick. We didn't have a lot of time. It was the last scene of the movie we shot in the first scene of the movie, but I really didn't know what he would think. So I was nervous. We talked after that. He loved it. He thought it was really funny. He goes, that was funny. That was a good one. That was good. And then that's when he said, you know what? I'm really proud of you. I truly, truly love him so much, you know, then and now.